Okay, now we've talked about the fly kicking guy. Let's discuss the other very brave guy that block our immune system to hurt our healthy tissue. So first, let's look at how this disease harm our own healthy tissue. So this is a image from this paper. It discussed the mild to moderate COVID-19 symptoms and severe to critical COVID-19 pathologies. We can see that in the severe to critical COVID-19 patient, they have an unbalanced cytokine secretion. Cytokines are the signaling molecules from our body to tell our immune system to come over and combat their enemy. But when we excrete a lot of the cytokines, that might cause cytokine storm that cause the overreaction of our immune system. That's not a good thing, right? So, and people have been just thinking about whether we can just kill these signaling molecule in order to reduce our overreaction of the immune system. In this paper, they have shown that IL-6 and GM-CSF, they are the two very important cytokines that play the role in the COVID-19 immune reaction. So these two cytokines are very hot target now in the COVID-19 treatment field. And luckily, we don't have to develop these antibodies against these drug targets from the scratch. There are FDA-approved drugs for IL-6, and there are monoclonal antibodies in the clinical trials for GM-CSF. So we can repurpose these drugs to treat COVID-19 instead of their original indications. Okay, so now let's see how do they work. These drugs are currently in late-stage clinical trials, but we still don't have the results yet. There are some preliminary results. So this one is this tocilizumab, which targets the IL-6R, which is the receptor for IL-6. Okay, we can see that the tocilizumab, it can reduce the body temperature, right? It's quite it's quite significant, this result. And then it can also increase the oxygen, blood oxygen, and reduce the inflammation. So from this result, we can see it's actually very promising. Regeneron has also released some preliminary results from their anti-IL-6R antibody. And in their antibody, they can show that the patient has treated with this drug has higher rate of hospital discharge and also clinical improvements. However, they only show this efficacy in the critical group of these people, a critical patient, but not in the group of severe patients. So meaning that this kind of immune modulating may only be effective in those people who are really, really sick. Okay. All right, there are other biologics that can also modulate the immune response. So I will not talk into details of these drugs. We can see there are this anti-CCR5 antibodies, which was originally developed for HIV. And also this is also an antibody against a cytokine, which is anti-IL-1B. And also there are other different kinds of biologics that can target some targeting the immune system to repress this immune reaction. So if you're interested, you can look into these drugs. All right, now let's get back to this pathology. We can see that besides the cytokine excretion, there's also this impaired IFN production in COVID-19 patient. IFN is also kind of cytokine that our body used to combat virus infections. So it is very important for virus infection. And in a lot of viral diseases, such as HBV, people are using IFN to combat viral infection. So in our case, people have already tried to use IFN to treat COVID-19. Let's see, in this case, this novel ferron is analog of IFN. You can see in this study, combined with this antiviral drug, this group with the combination of IFN, interferon, and also the antivirus treatment, we can see they have a better recovery rate, or say the virus clearance rate. So interferon treatment can also be a promising treatment option for COVID-19 patients. However, interferons have one drawback, which is its side effects. When we are considering therapeutics against our own immune system, side effects are the very important concerns that we have to keep in mind when developing these kind of drugs. Okay, to summarize, I have introduced to you two kinds of therapeutics. One is the therapeutics that target the virus infection. We have introduced convalescent plasma treatment, neutralizing antibodies, and also ACE2 mimetics, fusion inhibitors, and RBD mimetics. And also in the second part, I introduced the immunomodulating biologics, like the antibodies against the cytokines and other targets in the immune system. Also, we introduced IFN treatment. All right. So there are some more treatment biologics for the COVID-19 that cannot be put into these two categories. So here are two examples. One is SPD, which is surfactant protein, which is a protein that in our lung, in our alveoli, which helps to fight the pathogens. So supplying these kind of proteins can also help us to, may also help us to improve our COVID-19 patient recovery. And this one is a biologic that can supply oxygen. So this is also like a management way for this kind of disease, very severe disease. All right. So at the end, I first want to thank all the researchers in industry, in academia, and in hospitals that are working really hard to understand this disease and also to develop the treatment options for this disease. Without them, we have no way to combat this disease. Also, I wanted to thank my student Tian Tian for helping me to collect the information. And thank you for watching. If you have any question, you can address it to my email address. Thank you very much.